Welcome to episode 36 of the Play Your Yards Right podcast. As always, I am Sasha with my wonderful co-hosts, Mike and Sarah. And not the best week for the podcast. Little not the best mood, but we're going to keep the vibes high and we're as usual going to break down the games in chronological order. So we've got Sarah and Darkness, our old friend, here ready to go, but we got to wait till the end to get to that Bills game from Sunday night, which everybody is tuning in to hear about, I am sure. So
I'm sure.
yeah. But listen, we're here. You're amongst friends. We love you. And this is what we're here for. So starting from the first game of the weekend, Texans at Ravens. And I guess we kind of expected this from what was going to happen. The Ravens came in and just kind of steamrolled them in the second half. The first half was way closer than I think everybody expected. And then the second half was kind of, what we thought we were going to see from the Ravens.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was fun while it lasted for the Texans. They had an incredible season, far exceeding expectations. Like you said, even the first half, it was a little bit close, but the Ravens came to play. And I loved how good they looked right out of the gate. Like after having such an extended break, you kind of expect them to come out a little bit soft, a little bit nervous maybe, or just sluggish, who knows. But they looked good. It was clear, I don't really think it was ever going to actually be a game. It was just kind of, playing out that way. But I'm very scared of the Ravens. I'm jealous of how the energy they came in for. All I can think is the Cowboys would never do that coming off of such an extended, 17,
Yeah.
17-day break. But yeah, I mean, I don't think the Texans have anything to hang their heads about. It was an incredible season, and I'm excited to see what's to come for them.
Yeah, I think they're just going to
Yeah,
continue
hey,
to get
another
better.
great quarterback in the AFC. It's great.
Yeah.
Looks like CJ Stroud's another great quarterback to play in the AFC.
I mean, he's pretty old though, right? He's not going to be there for a long time or anything.
Nah, no, that rookie coach, rookie quarterback, great young receivers. The path is clear in the AFC.
Just nice and wide open. But the Texans, good for them. I mean, who knows? They'll continue to get better. Tank Dell will come back. I'm sure they'll make pieces. It seems like maybe a fun place to play with D'Amico Ryan seems like a cool guy and a fun coach to have. But the Ravens, I mean, they didn't. The only touchdown that was allowed was that punt return. So their actual defense didn't allow a single touchdown the whole game. They looked incredible, and I mean, I'm excited to see what's going to happen next week. We'll get to who they're playing a little bit later in the preview, but it was that second. Basically, as soon as that second half started, that had to just feel good for all Ravens fans and be able to just kind of turn it on and move on to the championship game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're veteran. Like you could just see the experience, and like that's like that second half when like the pressure starts to ramp up. You could see like years of playing together and stuff. Really, like they're formidable. That defense is very fast, like significantly faster than the rest of the D's left in the playoffs. They're good.
And actually having Lamar Jackson with some receivers that he trusts is a much different thing than we've seen before. Because constantly watching him try to force the ball to Mark Andrews and not trust anybody led to a lot of picks, led to a lot of I think not really designed plays. But having Zay Flowers, having Odell, just guys that he feels that he can throw the ball to, I think is huge. And is Mark Andrews coming back, or are they just fine with Likely? I mean, it doesn't seem like they've really missed a beat, but I know that they were talking about him coming back in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think he's going to play this week.
I think so.
Yeah, good to have Lamar break through too. I hope he breaks through because it's good to have another quarterback with confidence in the AFC.
Mike's second favorite team, the Ravens.
Yeah, now the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl. So there you go.
Moving on to the Saturday.
Just mute my mic. Mute my mic.
Put you out of your misery. Moving on to the late game on Saturday. Another game I expected to be I think these games were kind of swapped for me. I think everybody was kind of chatting about that the Texans-Ravens game, expecting that one to be a little bit closer than the spread would have spoken about, and people kind of thought the 49ers were going to roll in and just demolish the Packers and easily cover that 9.5, 10-point spread, and it just was completely switched. So the 49ers did not look that great. The Packers looked like a real actual opponent, I think, beyond what anybody thought. And but the 49ers are able to pull it out. So I thought this was a much better game than I expected. Mike, what are your thoughts?
Jordan Love and the Packers look really good. Like to have a group of a wide receiver room that's all rookies like that. play as well as they did. I think the Niners defense has some holes, and
Mhm.
um, I like that's what scares me because I thought they had a really good shot to like roll, but it seems like you can put up points on them, and and Purdy looks like a guy that if the weather's not great and this you take anything out of like you put a different situation other than just good weather, good like clear no issues football, and he's a guy that he didn't even know whether he wanted to wear gloves or not. He's wearing a glove, he's not wearing a glove, and Debo Samuel going out right away. It's like you take away any of his weapons, and he's just not the same guy. But the Packers put up a fight, and LaFleur's a good coach, and they're going to be really good going forward because that's going to give Jordan Love confidence, like Stroud. Same thing. Really good.
I personally felt validated by this game, by how good the Packers looked on here. I was really hoping the 49ers didn't come out and steamroll them. And no, I mean, they had opportunities to win this game. The Carlson brothers, I think the other one is a kicker for the Raiders. They're trash. For some reason, I've been on this. Well, actually, my husband John, he's really been on this, so he kind of clued me into this all year. Like they've just missed these. I think their actual stats are not that bad, but they've just missed a lot of really important kicks when it really matters. And I mean, the fact that LaFleur said he literally just prays every time that they send Carlson out there to kick is like not something you want, especially in a kicker when, I feel like a position that relies heavily on confidence. So clearly, I don't
Yeah, you
think
want
they're
your
going to
kicker
be
to
that
make kicks.
quick.
It's the worst when your kicker misses in clutch moments.
It's really like one of the biggest things you want your kicker to do is definitely make kicks for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I
for
think
sure.
my biggest takeaway from
No
them is that
reason in particular.
I think now that Davis Mills, and I don't even know if he's still in the league, or Mike Glennon I think is out of the league. So I think Carlson's definitely have the longest necks in the league for sure. Every time
Mhm.
he'd walk out there,
Yeah.
it's like I know it's a different sport, but I felt like he needed one of those like hockey neck protectors. Didn't look like anything I would trust. But yeah, I completely agree with Mike that the team just the 49ers don't look like the team that steamrolled their way through the entire season. And we talked about it kind of last week with Tua, where it's like if everything's not perfect, he can't do it. And it's like this is not even not per it's like it was a little rainy and like one of your like six incredible like all pro weapons wasn't available. It's not like Debo goes down and it's not like I mean Ayuk had some drops, but it's not like he's terrible and you still have Kittle and you still have McCaffrey. And he just absolutely felt to me as like this was the moment like he's not the guy. And it's insane that we were talking about him as an MVP candidate. It was
Yeah.
just this was 100% not the player that people were making him out to be. But it's like everything is not going to be perfect. I mean, they're in San Francisco, so I mean the weather might be all right. I haven't seen what's coming up for this week. But yeah, it's pretty wild that the Packers will continue to look this good. I can't believe how close it was. And I think we talked about this last week too. I can't believe that people aren't like Jordan Love was never a guy, and like he sat there and he learned and was a little bit older and was able to come in. And I get it, not everybody has an MVP quarterback like Aaron Rodgers that they can like draft somebody decent and let them develop a little bit without putting them just right in the limelight. But like it seems to work pretty freaking well, and like your team can just continuously be good for like 3 decades because of the way that you handle your quarterback situation and the way that you let them develop, as opposed to throwing a Bryce Young 22-year-old clueless guy into a shitty situation. Like you can just consistently be in the playoffs and getting to the divisional round in a rebuilding year. It's crazy. And I feel like more teams need to start doing that.
Yeah.
The weather looks good. It looks like it's going to be perfect weather.
All right. All right. So maybe they'll look amazing. At Debo, I haven't heard any more updates if he's going to be back.
I'm not sure. I can tell you I did look. Mark Andrews has odds to get a touchdown in this next game. So
Okay.
he is going to play. Sorry to backtrack.
And he will score. I mean, maybe it's a little propaganda talk, but
yeah, well, we've got something. The thing with Purdy and the thing with Tua and to an extent Jared Goff and a lot of these guys, it's not even like decision making with Purdy and stuff in these moments. I think it comes down to just arm strength and arm talent. It's like because you mix in any weather or anything that's like I said that can affect from being a standard indoor weather or a perfect weather game. And these guys, without the arm strength of Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, maybe Jordan Love looks like he's got a cannon, Stroud does. It's like if they can't make those outside throws, the field is 15 yards shorter.
Yeah.
You're just playing. You don't have to guard as heavily on the outside. Also, those are balls that cornerbacks can cheat on and intercept. And I think you see that. You see that when the coaches try to, bad coaches, Shanahan not being one of them, lets their quarterback try to make these throws that they've seen them make in a perfect practice. And then a guy like Purdy won't be able to make that throw to an outside receiver. So I think that's the big difference. You see it. The ball is fluttering the whole game for the Niners. So,
Yeah.
So do you think that they would be a better team
There
with
you go.
Sam Darnold at quarterback?
maybe. I wanted to bet him to be comeback player of the year. I'm surprised. I think his brains must be scrambled with the Jets.
Yeah. He
I
couldn't
wonder
be,
if Shanahan kind of wanted to put him in.
could be. And he couldn't possibly be comeback player of the year. You need to make a ridiculous call on a fake punt to be comeback player of the year.
Right,
But I think that may be getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, special teams player of the year for sure.
Moving on to Sunday early game, Lions Bucks. This one was very, very enjoyable. Sarah, you said here, I think you like this one. This was a fun one. How are you feeling about the Lions and Bucks game?
I thought it was a lot of fun. I mean, two quarterbacks who I think are pretty fun to watch for different ways, different reasons. I mean, Baker Mayfield had quite the season. Interested to see what happens with him going into next year because it was a lot of fun to see him get his confidence back. And I think they talked about it during the broadcast that kind of both Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield were in a little bit of similar situations. Goff on his second team, Baker on his God knows how many team, but both of them kind of got a little bit of the shaft leaving their original organizations after, being such high draft picks. And it was good to see both of them kind of make a comeback, stay in the league after I think Goff is in his 8th year. I'm not sure, honestly, Baker after somewhere around that, like a
I
long
think
time.
like
He's in the
six.
same. He's going into his 7th, same draft as Josh Allen. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good to see guys and kind of rebounding because I feel like lately we're seeing like all these kind of doom and glooms, right? With like Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, guys like that who might not ever bounce back, from things. So it was fun. I mean, this one I think was tighter than Detroit fans would have liked. I wish we were gonna have Taylor, loyal Lions fan, on, but we'll have to get him on next week to see how he felt going into this. But I can't believe I kind of felt myself pulling for the Bucks during this because I always root for the underdog during close games, and I was like, wait, the Bucks are the underdog to the Detroit Lions in a
Yeah.
divisional game. Like that's crazy when you actually sit and think about that.
Yeah, I think the running back, what was it, Rashad White? He looked really, really good. I feel like they should have gone to him a little bit more. I felt like every time they handed the ball off to him, he was getting 7-8 yards. Their receivers are great. Their defense is really, really, really good. I got them, kind of watching them. It just felt like every tackle was being made by at least 2-3 guys. They're just fly around the field, which is classic, just like Todd Bowles kind of thing. He's able to get the defense up and get them ripping, get them going. And when their defense is playing like that, and then you have weapons like Mike Evans, who's incredible, like it's they're hard to beat. And like I don't think Baker is necessarily like a guy, but he keeps getting these jobs, and I think he's just like a locker room dude. I feel like he's got some of the talent, but just all the heart. And I think that the guys kind of like him and will cover, we'll all come together around him. But is he going to be their long-term quarterback? Maybe, I guess. I don't really know what their other options are going to be.
He's like a more likable Russell Wilson to me when I watch him play. It's like thinks he's mobile, isn't really mobile, throws a good deep ball. I don't think he's got the arm. I think he's another arm strength guy, and you saw that in this game. Like he got picked off. He just can't zip it in there. But like, could he win a Super Bowl? Definite. Like you put him with the right defense and like a good offensive line and a great running back like a Marshawn Lynch and something like, he's just a likable Russell Wilson build. That's what he is to me.
He's Mr. Limited.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you throw him on the 49ers, it's exactly that kind of thing. He could be great on the 49ers. Like it was just
right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
But I feel like we need to give the Lions their flowers. They're coming out there. Their defense is playing pretty damn well. Their middle linebacker, that guy Anzalone, is an animal. It feels like he's in on every single play. But they need to come out and they need to outscore teams, and that's what they're able to do. They're kind of able to find ways. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I just love that guy. Gibbs is incredible with the ball in his hands. Goff is just fun. Their offensive line, like despite how good Tampa's defense is. Their offensive line gave Goff a ton of time. So I'm very high on them. I'm very hopeful. The thing that keeps worrying me is that, like, I just feel like this every moment the Lions fans keep waiting for a letdown, and like they're so excited and every game feels like the Super Bowl. So it's like, now are they able to go do this on the road? I don't know. I'm worried about it moving forward. We'll talk about it a little in the preview, but I don't know. I feel like it's hard not to root for them. You hear it from countless people that are even fans of other NFC North teams, and they're still like, good for them. Like, they've just been downtrodden for so long. Their fans seem so happy. It's everybody's kind of pulling for them, I think.
Yeah, I want them to lose so that we're not the only fan base that is just constantly getting shit on. So I'm rooting, go Niners.
So speaking of that, we got to get to the Sunday night game. I think my only thoughts are poor Bills. So Mike, I don't know if you want us to take it away. Do you want to?
Yeah. Hey guys, take it away. I'm just here so I don't get fined. All right. I'll take questions. That's it.
Well, we want to let you, you got to let it out. I'm sure you got a lot of feelings, and they heard
you got to come get it out.
They heard damn near every one of them. All right, we'll pull it out. So, thoughts in general. Thought the beginning of the game was incredible. Josh Allen is an absolute beast. The thoughts, I thought that there were times throughout the season that you could really see that, you could see a little bit that they were missing. They had their defensive injuries, missing Matt Milano, missing a lot of those guys. And it just all came out, I think, in a pretty bad way. If, the game got into a shootout a little bit, the two mistakes of the game both happened kind of in quick succession of each other. So they kind of canceled each other out. And it was really just strength on strength until the end. And I just think that my immediate takeaway, you need a new coach more than anything. I'm just tired of looking at Sean McDermott on the sideline. And more than that, I think he's it's not even to do with his ability. You need to, like, change the carpets, change the paint in the walls. Those guys keep going into that locker room and the same shit keeps happening with the same guy. There needs to be there needs to be a new scent in the air. It's like, they have the players, they have the talent. Josh Allen starting next year is now going to be, taking up 3 to 4 times the cap space that he has been in the past couple of years. So you're going to have to get creative in a lot of different ways. And there needs to be a fresh air. And I haven't heard this anywhere. This is coming from nowhere. Aside from my brain, I think Mike Vrabel needs to be your next head coach. I think he's a perfect fit. I think he's a vibes guy. I think he is like a defensive type dude. And I think that was where I would put all of my chips in. So that's kind of my positive, I would hopefully positive spin on it. Sarah, you have any takes you want to try to pep old Mike up with?
Well, Mike, as you remember, I was in your shoes last week, and I feel like you and I right now, we're not so different, because team-wise, things are kind of a little bit the same. Like, the same thing year after year, these talented rosters, only to kind of let things down in the playoffs and come away disappointed. I feel like I totally agree with Sasha, where I feel like at this point, your coping mechanism has to be, focusing on new coaching, because something has to change. I think it's very similar how I felt like with the Cowboys, that you cannot keep, producing the same exact equation every single time, expecting a different result with coaching, players, personnel. I think Josh Allen isn't the problem. Clearly, I think everyone can kind of agree on that. And that means
not the national media. Sorry, continue.
I know.
Proceed.
Again, I feel like that kind of, I'm not putting him on the same level as Dak, but criticism wise, it's a little bit similar situation that they both are placed in there. And I think you need to be looking at coaching, because this is a problem outside just your quarterback. It's an overall performance, inability to win these big games when it really matters. And like I said last week, that falls on the head coach. There's not that many things the head coach actually is fully responsible for, like sole thing. It's they're managing overall. So when everything is kind of collapsing repeatedly like this, that's who you have to go to for the problem. So I think that's really what you need to focus in on here to get to the Chiefs, because I don't want to totally ignore them. I feel like they're becoming annoying. And I'm not even a Buffalo fan, so I know you're going to agree with this. But I feel like now we're getting to a point where it's like, this is like super irritating. They won a game. You arguably, like, fewer things go the other way. The Bills easily win this game. So it's not like they came there and, won in defeating fashion. And I just feel like it's just unfair at this point. It's annoyingly unfair. That's how I feel about the Chiefs.
I agree. We're not firing our coach, guys.
Why?
That's because they're not firing him. That's like almost 100%. We're not firing Sean McDermott. And if we were, I would only be Bill Belichick. I only want Emperor Palpatine. I only want the evil Emperor.
That's it.
But it's
What?
not going to happen. I mean, maybe it will, but he seems to have survived. Like they're already talking coaching staff moves that aren't related to him. He's not getting fired. And trying to gather how I want it. Like, there's a lot of pieces that are wrong. First off the rip, Tyler Bass can't be the kicker next year. I love that guy, but I'll never trust him to go out and make a big kick. And in the playoffs, you have to be able to make a big kick. So that guy's got to go.
Doesn't he
the
do
injury,
that? Does he do the one eye black like Nelly?
yeah.
Wow.
He's an awesome guy, and that's great. But like, I need an awesome kicker in clutch moments to be able to make the kick, especially at home. That's where you play. Got to make the fucking kick. Nobody misses a kick against us. That's like unbelievable. Harrison Butker, it's like he could have lined it up from 70, and I feel like he would have just banged it through the uprights. And Bass came out, and I felt like he was going to miss. I felt like if we didn't score that touchdown, I was scared of him making extra points. He had just gotten really shaky, and that's what happens with kickers. But this kind of a kick sticks with you. He had to delete his social media.
Yeah.
He was getting like death threats and stuff, which is like, shame on fans that are like that. Like, I take this very seriously and very bad, but it's like, dude, get a life if that's what you're doing. Like, these are just people. He's just not a kicker who I want to be kicking on my team. He could still be in the NFL. That's great. Knock yourself out. Just not that. If he comes back, we are really just unable to like make business decisions. And that's one of the fears I have with our team is like, we are very, we like take care of our guys. We keep our guys around, but it's like, that's a critical position. That guy's got to go. If Stephon Diggs next year, if he's my wide receiver 1, I'm going to riot. And people who say like they just need to get Diggs help, the problem is that Diggs isn't the number 1 receiver. He's awesome. He's on the other side of 30. He can get taken out of games. He doesn't have this size or speed. He's an amazing route runner. He gets open. He does things like that. He is not a number 1 anymore.
Yeah.
The biggest area that needs to be addressed, and I want it to be addressed via trade prior to the draft, is acquiring a number 1 wide receiver. I want DK Metcalf. I want to trade a number 1 pick for DK Metcalf. That is a rebuilding team with a new coach, with a 26-year-old wide receiver that by the time they piece that all together, he's not going to be, it's the same age we traded for Diggs. You trade for Metcalf, you figure it out, you let Gabe Davis walk. I love him, but he's got to go. Shakir's awesome.
He was great.
Khalil Shakir. I put Khalil Shakir should be our other outside wide receiver, and you move Stephon Diggs into the slot, and all of a sudden we have the best slot receiver in the NFL. And somebody needs to sit down with him and have a talk and be like, hey man, 24 fucking yards. He had less receiving yards than Latavius Murray.
That's not good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all, he dropped a 65-yard, the most beautiful pass I've seen Josh Allen make. He made 2 that were dropped, but the one off Diggs is on. Hey man, that's not $27 million worth of production. Sorry, you have to catch that ball.
Yeah.
It hit him in the arms. It wasn't even like it wasn't even broken up by the cornerback. He just dropped it.
That was it.
You're right, Sarah. You're very right. Josh Allen is not the problem. Josh Allen is an incredible quarterback. Did he make some mistakes? Yes, but every quarterback makes some mistakes in these games. It's just, we were forced to play this like hyper, like tight version of our team because of our defense was just, it had run its course. We were out of luck. No Terrell Bernard over the middle. AJ Klein was on his couch 2 weeks ago, and now he's calling our defense and just getting smoked. Travis Kelce smoking them. Rasul Douglas was clearly, to me, not a fan, looked like he was a step slower because of the knee injury.
Mhm.
And the part that pisses me off about McDermott is like, how do you start Klein in this game? Like take a shot, take a shot. Put the rookie Dorian Williams in, who makes some mistakes, but he's fast, he's aggressive, he's a hard tackler, and we drafted him in the third round. You draft those guys are starters on your team within 2 or 3 years. So give him the experience. What's the worst that could happen in that moment? I also would have played Kyer Elam more because you look at the Packers, and cut me off, but look at the Packers. All those receivers, Bo Nix, Bo something,
Oh,
Bo
yeah.
Melton.
Bo Melton, that was it. Yep.
Every week, what did I say last week? Every week, it's another guy who I'm like, who is that? They're playing their young players. That is developing them. We are so stuck on giving like guys that know our system and know the scheme. The scheme isn't working. It's not working in this game. We're getting zero pressures.
I think
I mean,
that's what I think comes from
there
the
you go.
coaching. I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I think that's down at the end. Like it felt like the last 6 minutes, it was just playing chicken shit football. You went for the few like kind of deep passes. I think the only mistake that he made or that Josh Allen made was not hitting, he did have Shakir in the end zone there, but he also had
He
Diggs
got
down
bumped.
low.
Everybody says he
Yeah.
got bumped. Everybody
Yeah.
says he got bumped by Chris Jones, and that's the only reason I would see him short arming him.
Yeah.
If anything, Josh Allen overthrows everything.
Yeah.
That was
I
the
agree.
same pass that Gabe Davis caught 2 years ago against them.
Yep.
He was wide open. It was beautiful.
Yeah. So there
I
definitely
couldn't
had to
believe
be
it when it came up short. Gee.
there had to be something else, going on there. But it felt like he was playing like it was tied at 27 and he was trying to take a field goal to win it. It wasn't playing like you were down 3. It's like you were going to give it to them. It's going to be heartbreak. You're giving them the ball with 2 timeouts and 1:40 left. Like you were not playing like that was that close to the end. And I just hated the play calling there. And what you were just saying about being afraid to play that guy, being afraid to play that, the linebacker. It feels like it's afraid to take chances. And it feels like your whole vibe should be like, we have Josh Allen, like, let's go take these chances. Like, he's the kind of guy that takes chances. So it feels like there's these polar opposites of the head coach who's like, no, like we shouldn't do this. And Josh Allen's who's like, I can do this. Like, give me the chances. And I just feel like the whole team needs somebody, maybe there's a balance. Maybe there is, if it was working and you guys were winning, like you could see there'd be the way of like, Josh Allen's here, the coach is here, the answer's somewhere in the middle and they find it. But it just feels like there's just this push and pull of, the coach being like, no, this is what we do. And we're stuck in our ways. And Josh being like, I'm a peacock. Let me fly.
Let me fly. Yeah. Look, you got to make that kick though. And I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to say I'm fine with that kick. Tie the game. I don't watch football with, Mahomes is going to come down and score for sure. It's another heart. Like, I get all of that, but you make the kick. The 3rd and 9 play, I mean, it was really a throwaway is a real. I did not like to see that. I wish they had something better drawn up for that play. But again, it's one play, and I understand that these things come down to one play. But like, we're in field goal range. He did his job. And he hit Diggs on that drive. I mean, there was a touchdown in there that we didn't get 2 times.
Yeah.
So, yes, McDermott calling the field goal, I got no problem. It's the personnel decisions that I really don't like. We draft these guys. I believe that Brandon Beane is good at drafting, and then we don't give them opportunities to play when they're young. And it's like, this is football. They don't play till they're 40. Like, they've got to get out there and play. And we had the injury to Matt Milano and went with Dorian Williams for a little while and then went to Terrell Dotson, and he didn't see the field anymore. And it's like, use the regular season. You're already losing these fucking games. We'll use that time to develop this guy. It can't be we've seen enough. There's our 3rd round pick in the garbage. Like, that's just bad. That's bad player evaluations. He does that. He's too stuck on his veterans. So we'll see if that. I think the change needs to be on that side where Brandon Beane needs to be like, hey, Sean, if our starter goes down, you're playing rookies. You're playing 2nd-year guys. Shakir, look at Shakir. He's 2nd-year player. They didn't get him the ball. Now all of a sudden, the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, he had more catches than Stephon Diggs. He had more yards than Stephon Diggs. He finished the season with I forget where it is. He finished like number one in success rate for receivers in the NFL. Like he's not, I don't see how he could be a number one, but he's he's a game-changing player who should be getting 7 to 9 targets in a game.
Yeah, I'm looking at
We
his stats right now. Basically, the playoffs. I mean, if you count that Dolphins game as a playoff game, because it kind of was to win the division, he went 6 for 105 in the Dolphins game, 3 for 31 in that terrible weather game and a touchdown, and then Chiefs 7 for 44 and a touchdown.
he was the number one in the NFL in yards per target, number one in the NFL in success rate, and number one in the NFL in catch rate. Maybe throw that guy the ball more. But, in the offseason, I'm taking James Cook out into the woods and I'm throwing footballs at him until he learns how to catch. There are just so many areas that we are right there and we are just unsuccessful. We don't execute. This game we should have won. I'm thinking with our defense that we probably would have lost to Baltimore because I don't know how we're going to cover Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? With an either injured Terrell Bernard or a soon-to-be retired AJ Klein. So, it sucks. It sucks. And they're cutting to Taylor Swift and Jason Kelsey's doing a fat Ryan, fat Patrick, jumping up with his shirt off and pounding beers. And Bills fans are like cheering him on. It's so weird. I'm sick of the Chiefs. I hope Travis Kelsey retires. And it's LeBron James. Oh boy, here we go. LeBron James didn't win his first title till his 9th season. Peyton Manning, I think it was in his 7th season when he won his first Super Bowl. A lot of guys, it takes time to get over the hump, and it's done as a team. Our defense was in pieces; it was in tatters. Our offense clearly needs to be upgraded. Like our draft, our free agency, the focus needs to be on the offense. We do need to draft some safeties or find some cheap safeties to replace Hyde and Boyer. But our defense is what it is. We made our bed with this. Benford's under contract at cornerback. Rasul Douglas is going to be brought back at cornerback. Our defensive line, Oliver Rousseau, Von Miller, you're paying him $1 bajillion. He's playing next year. Linebackers, Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, Dorian Williams, and hopefully we bring back Terrell Dotson. That's set. And safety, we're still paying Poyer, and Hyde's probably going to retire. And I also think if he comes back, there's a veteran I'd play, but let's draft a young guy in there or sign another young guy. It's all the offense. We need to become a high-powered offense. Our offense looks so good, and personnel-wise, it is not. So that's all Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I want receivers. I want running backs. Tight end, I'm fine with the 2 guys we got. Knox and Kincaid are fine. But I want receivers. I want running backs. I want to draft the center to make sure we back up Mitch Morse, who's probably on his last year. We bring back McDermott. I mean, this is it. This is it. I keep saying it. I mean, he's coming back. I want to make sure we bring back Joe Brady, but I also want them to interview other guys for the offensive coordinator position. Like this should not just be, here you go. Josh Allen is a beautiful unicorn. He is a beautiful treasure that you can't just be haphazard with who gets to coach this beautiful thing that is now going to be 20. He'll be turning 28 or turning 28 going into this season. I think we've got like a 5-year window of like ultimate prime. As far as the running, probably 3. He's going to have a long career. He's going to adapt. He works hard. All that's fine. But this ultra mega quarterback, and hey, Ravens fans, Lamar Jackson, same thing. You better go win the fucking Super Bowl right now because he's going to take hits. He can't be running. They're just not going to be these guys. So what we do from here, we are at a crossroads. It's not a tear this whole team down situation, but they need to be super smart. And it becomes this thing where I hope we can attract the right free agents. We've done a good job of that. I hope that they have some some cojones and go out and trade that pick and get a receiver. Get an established number one. Talk to Diggs and be like, it's Josh Allen. He's going to throw it 60 times. You're going to get your passes. And if he's got a fucking problem with it, then trade Diggs and bring back Gabe Davis and Shakir and get me DK Metcalf, get me Devontae Adams, get me somebody. Those two guys, get Mike Evans, although I'm, nervous with him, but 1,000 yards for his first 9 years of his career. He's a free agent. There are players out there. Go get them. Invest in your. It's like having a Ferrari and putting 3 tires on. I'd have not only 4 tires, I'd have snow tires and I'd have backup because I'd always want to drive it every day. So we need to be able to drive the fucking car every week. End of rant. End of rant. And we lost. There you go. Just as I suspected.
Do you feel better? Does it feel worse?
No. I feel fine. It's fine. I'm excited. I'm already excited for the offseason. I don't even know how much I'm going to really care to watch these games. I don't know about Sarah, how you feel, but like getting eliminated from the playoffs, it's like I'm done.
It is tough. It's hard to get as excited for them for sure. I felt like I was going in and out. I can't say wrong there.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know, but I have seen 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime, so you guys can suck my dick.
There you go. There you go.
Look me in the eye right now and tell me you don't want Mike Vrabel.
I don't want Mike Vrabel.
That's insane. I think that's crazy.
It's Belichick or nothing. Belichick. If it's between him and Belichick and we don't get Belichick, I'm gonna riot.
You don't think? I feel like I can't picture him.
I don't want the best coach of all time.
No, of course you do. You think he's going to go
knows
there?
The division?
You think there's not some weird handshake agreement between the Patriots and him? Like you can't. Like we don't even want you in the AFC, let alone the AFC.
No, I think he's got a problem with Robert Kraft. Ooh. I think he's mad about the way this went down.
Interesting. All right.
He wants to have if you want to have the wins record for a coach, and that's a huge part of why you're staying. Plus, he wants to win another Super Bowl because of the Brady one. Where do you go? If you go to Buffalo.
If he goes to the Bills, the day that he signs, I will put my house on the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl that following year.
Hey, you know what, guys? We have the second best odds in the AFC to win the Super Bowl next year. Same.
Oh, I love it. All right. Well,
because ESPN and all these loudmouths can say what they want, but Vegas is Vegas. We're plus, I think it's like plus 650 to win the Super Bowl. You can't even get good odds.
Yeah,
we're going to be back. One of these years they're going to win as long as Josh Allen's healthy. You don't think? Come with me. Come with me. Let's get in my time machine. Come here, guys.
Step into your nightmare vehicle. Your nightmare vehicle.
Everybody got your harnesses on. I'm fast forwarding. The year is 2043. You're telling me Josh Allen, as he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame, has not won 1 Super Bowl? That guy? No way. No way. Anybody?
I don't know what stage of grief the time travel is, but it seems like we've covered a lot here.
It's right before suicide.
Let's time travel the other direction to 1993. And we're like, you're telling me Jim Kelly's not going to have 1 Super Bowl?
I don't know. Josh Allen. Jim Kelly's not Josh Allen, guys. Josh Allen is the most gifted quarterback ever.
I think if Josh Allen played in Jim Kelly's era, they would have thrown him in Lake Erie and thought he was a witch.
Yeah, but Josh Allen's the most physically gifted quarterback of all time.
Physically gifted quarterback.
Physically gifted. Mahomes is an incredible quarterback, probably the most talented quarterback ever. Josh Allen is the most physically gifted quarterback to ever step on a football field. And there'll be other ones, but that's just the case.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been a Jared Lorenzen.
If he's not, then he's the second most. If you want to argue Mahomes, then he's number 2.
No, I would say they're both 2 and 3 behind Jared Lorenzen, but that's just me.
True. He was a big boy. He's dead now, right?
Yeah, R.I.P. The hefty lefty.
You
But
know, wait, real quick.
we're-
I'm just there, Ben. There's a world where like Mahomes, just for Chiefs fans, hop in the time machine with me, Chiefs fans. There's a world where you guys lose to Baltimore now, and Travis Kelce retires or gets more focused on his movie career, and him and Taylor are having a baby, and he's not the same guy anymore. And you miss on a couple of drafts, and you guys never win another Super Bowl again. So it's nothing's guaranteed. They walk around like it's like it's like all the Patriots fans just moved to Kansas City. They walk around like their shit doesn't stink. There's no guarantee. Not Tom Brady is one of one in terms of winning.
yeah.
So until Mahomes does it's not that easy, and it's not all on one guy. And the Chiefs are beatable, and the Ravens might run them like that. Would make me happy, Sarah. Let the Ravens kick the absolute shit out of them, because then I'll be like, all right, we would have lost that game too.
I like that. And that is a perfect segue into these preview
Yeah.
for this game. I am all in with you. I completely agree with what Sarah said before. The Chiefs are just becoming so hateable. And honestly, the only thing likable about that Chiefs game, I know you mentioned you don't feel the same way, was literally just Jason Kelce being hammered. Like, he was just funny, and it was good, like him letting loose and just like being the drunk uncle with his kids and his wife. And it's like, Taylor Swift looking all prim and proper, and he's just got his chest hair out. I'm like, yeah, you gotta love, like, that was the only thing I liked about that team. But I'm just so tired of Mahomes is whining and they're winning, and it's just they've been winning long enough. I get that they're great. I get that Mahomes is amazing. I'm ready for something new, and I really hope that the Ravens can just end this and get us out of this misery.
They've only won 2 Super Bowls, so
That's it.
I mean, it's not like, dude. A lot of people have won 2 Super Bowls. Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, don't you talk? Yeah, that is a great man.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. But I don't know. I think I'm all Niners. Let's go Shanahan, Christian McCaffrey.
Interesting. So then the Lions 49ers on to the next game. We'll have to bring Taylor on. He was on the podcast before to talk about this Lions game after the fact next week. I'm pulling for the Lions as well, but I've been kind of expecting them to turn back into a pumpkin this whole time. And I do think the 49ers, I don't think can look as bad as they did last week. And I feel like they might come out guns blazing.
I think the only silver lining here, and Mike alluded to it earlier, the 49ers defense is not looking like the machine they were all season. And if any team can exploit that, it's the Detroit Lions. So I feel like if the Lions can come out and score first possession, and they're probably going to have to score on nearly every possession in order to maintain this game, because if they go down, they're doomed. They're not going to be able to, I think, manage it that way. And the 49ers can just run out the clock by running the ball. But I think if they're able to have a really high offensive performance, exploit that defense, I think they have a chance. This is more based on how the 49ers looked last week. Obviously, throughout the season, they were very scary, and it's hard to know which version of them they're going to get. But if defensive wise, they come and play the same way last week, I think the Lions actually have a chance in this one.
Their secondary is so bad.
Yeah. But you know who else is bad? Brock Purdy.
I know. Well, the weather's going to be nice, though. See?
So it's good, but that's good for Goff also.
Mm-hmm.
It is good for Goff. I know. McCaffrey's awesome. McCaffrey's a really good running back, and they have a good run defense, but it's like, I think McCaffrey, he can beat a good run defense. That's what he does. I think Shanahan got the monkey off his back too by winning a game when he was like down instead of like caving like he always does.
Yeah.
Because he's another guy who blows big games and hasn't won anything. I just think there's too much going on. And the Lions have a good team. If they get Jahmyr Gibbs involved and Montgomery looks a little better, because he didn't look super explosive in the last game. Jahmyr Gibbs looks like the most talented running back in the league.
Yeah.
Like at points when he gets outside, it's like he's gone. And they have a really good offensive line. Maybe, but I think the Niners are gonna take care of business.
Yeah, I was just so scared for Lions fans because it felt like it was lining up where they were going to get their heart ripped out in the NFC Championship game by the Packers, which would have just been like the most dejecting, saddest thing for them possible. So, and this, I feel like it's kind of a win for them. I mean, obviously, who knows if if they'll ever be back, but I mean, Lions fans all seem pretty happy with just about anything at this point. So, I don't know how many of them expect to win, but I kind of agree with you. And I think the line may not, I thought the line would be a little bit lower going in. I thought people were going to overreact to how bad the 49ers looked, and maybe we're going to get some free points there, but it's not really looking that. So going into that,
And the Lions are a building team too, guys.
Yeah.
Jared Goff is 38 years old, and he's not on one of these mega contracts.
Yeah.
They had a really successful draft. Laporta and Gibbs, Hutchinson. They seem to be like their GM knows what he's doing. They're bringing in people. They lose this game. I think they come back with a way improved secondary. I bet you they're not afraid to spend money. Now they've got a taste of success. And Goff is in a Goff just needs, like, again, he needs help all around him. But that's a team that I think they're on the upswing and will continue to be back and be better next year.
The hard part of
Not
that,
writing them off, but I'm just saying
that may end up being the best division in football. I mean, if Cousins comes back and the Bears take another step, obviously the Packers show us what what they're capable of. So that's going to be a tough division for a long time.
Yeah. Well, the Bears will have Caleb Williams, so
yeah, could be fun. But not to pile on, Mike, we're going to just rip the Band-Aid off. Tough week in the divisional round.
Yeah. Guys.
We leveled off. We came off Super Wild Card weekend 4-1, only to even back out with a clean divisional round of 1-4. Total right now we are just minus only a quarter unit. So we started with 6.5. We're just down to 6.25. Did get the Bucks Lions. That Uber lock really helped. The Bucks Lions over with the 2 units there. The 6-point teasers. The Texans couldn't keep it within 16 goddamn points. Everything else was right there, but the 49ers and the Bills unfortunately could not take care of business for you. But we still got 6.25 units in the kitty, and we got 3 games left. So hopefully we can finish on a high note. Oh, and also, Josh Allen did more than his job on that 100 rush yards, the parlay there, or the whatever, that special bet.
Yeah.
Mahomes only with 19, so got to 91 yards out of the 100. But yeah, Josh Allen did everything he could in every aspect.
Yeah, Mahomes stuck it to me again. Yeah, and Lamar got me. Thanks a lot, Ravens. Look, you're not going to win every game. We're doing fine. We're running out of games. I'm running out of idea. I'm running out of ways to scheme up bets here.
I got to tell you, Mike,
that's okay.
I have faith in you.
Yeah, I think we're going to be okay here. I guess we say what we always say. We're gonna make some bets, and then we're gonna win our bets, guys. I'm picking each game spread, and I'm picking each game's over under.
Love it.
And then I've got a touchdown parlay that's crazy. That's gonna hit.
It's gonna hit.
It's gonna hit. So where do you want to start? AFC, NFC?
Let's start with let's go chronologically. Let's start Chiefs, Ravens.
Okay. Ravens minus 3.5.
Ooh, okay.
These all, before we start, 1 unit each.
1 unit on this one, yes. We might go over our. Can I go into the negative? That'll be fun.
If you're gonna get us out of there, that's fine with me.
I'm gonna get us out. Stick with me. Let's do 1.5 units on the Ravens minus 3.5.
Okay.
They have more talent on defense, and Lamar is really good. The Bills ran down the Chiefs' throat for the first half, and they lost. Willie Gay was out, got hurt in that game. They lost 3 defensive starters, so I think Lamar's put your tinfoil hats on. The Super Bowl colors are purple and red. I've sent you guys that thing.
Yep.
It's going to be Ravens Niners, and I think the Ravens are going to win by 10 points. So I'm going to take the Ravens minus 3.5 and vanquish these Kansas City Chiefs for good. Thank God. And I'm going to take the under of 44.5.
Under 44. Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't think the Chiefs can get over 17 points in this game.
I would like to see that. I kind of agree.
Yeah.
27-17, that's 44 points. That matches what I'm thinking.
We're doing a unit on that, or a unit and a half on that?
One unit on that.
Okay.
More confident in the spread than the over under. So that's your AFC. I think that's the way it's going to go down. I'll be wrong again. I just don't think the Chiefs are going to be able to put up points like they did. Pacheco's not going to be able to run like that. I think they have the horses to like stop Mahomes from those BS scrambles, and
Yeah.
he's going to be scrambling in this game. So, um, and this might be a thing of like that was the Chiefs winning their Super Bowl. I know everybody's like, it's Mahomes and he's Tom Brady, but like they were celebrating that game big time in the locker room, and it felt like that was their moment. And I think they're going to lose this game. Baltimore's a tough place to play.
Very, especially when
Yeah.
when their defense looks like that.
It's going to be tough for them to just get into the game.
Yeah.
Baltimore. You know what I mean? I don't know. All right, NFC.
Yes.
Niners -7, 1 unit.
Niners
I
minus
think,
7.
yeah, I think the Niners are going to take care of business. I think these are not going to be the most entertaining games. I mean, I think they'll be fun, but I think both of these games are kind of like setting the stage for these two juggernauts coming together in the Super Bowl. So, and I'm taking Niners under 50.5 as well, because I don't think so. I'm going to take that at 1 unit as well.
Yeah.
If the Niners win this game and cover this spread, it's going under. It's going to be for the same kind of reason that I think the Ravens would cover, is that the Lions are not going to be able to put up points like that. And 50.5 is a lot of points. And it is outside with two quarterbacks that, maybe are much more suited to be in a dome. So
Yeah.
Like it.
I think a score for that, like a 31-17 type game, 31-14, maybe not 14, but I think the Niners probably get to 30 points. And I'm afraid that the Lions get like totally throttled, and the Niners can put together really long, time consuming drives as well. They're not going to want to be in a shootout.
Yeah.
I think it's just like drive after drive, they're punching it in. So
Makes sense to me.
So that puts me at 1, 2, 3, 4.5 units
4.5.
spent. All right, so I guess I'm not going to use them all. We're going to put one whole unit on this, guys,
Oh.
to win a lot of units. You ready?
To win a lot of units. I want to win a lot of units. That's what we're here for.
2 score a touchdown. You got everybody ready to write this down? Christian McCaffrey,
Okay.
Lamar Jackson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Gus Edwards,
Ooh.
George Kittle.
Oh, it keeps going.
That's it. Those 5. And Kittle.
McCaffrey, Lamar, Gibbs, Edwards, Kittle.
I probably could have given that to you. Yeah, whole unit. That's plus 32.76.
Plus 32.
Wow.
I like that a lot. Plus 32. If I had to guess, I feel like McCaffrey is obviously a shoe-in.
Yeah.
Lamar, I can totally see how. Yeah. I'm all in on Lamar. We saw what Josh Allen just did to those. Gibbs and Edwards, I feel like they're going to get close and be able to hammer them in. Montgomery, obviously not looking good, I think is promising. That Montgomery poach always scares me, but I feel like they're straying more towards young legs. I mean, not that Montgomery's that old, but the way that
I think they're going to be down.
So maybe
I think
throwing
they're
it to
going to
him
be
or something.
losing. If they're losing, it's Gibbs. When they're winning, it's Montgomery.
Yeah. Edwards feels like a guy that's going to score the first touchdown in the game, and then Kittle can always just break one whenever. And honestly, one of my favorite bets to make, as soon as I figure out if this is how I won some money last week, if Greg Olson is calling the game, George Kittle will score a touchdown. They're boys, they're friends. That's always been my favorite thing. So I'm not sure what channel or who is announcing that game, but that was how I won some money last week, and I feel like Kittle shows up in prime time. That dude loves football. He loves the block, and he's not afraid of the moment.
Well, I got some bad news for you.
What is that?
It's Aikman and Buck.
Oh, Okay, that's still fine. It's not like binary. It's not doesn't mean that won't work. It's just a little for your tickler file in the future. If you see that he's, if you sign into it, or if you're log in to watch a 49ers game and Greg Olson's calling it, George Kittle will score.
Noted.
I think in this game, I think in these games, like the reasoning behind it, well, McCaffrey's a touchdown machine. He's going to get a touchdown.
Yes.
They're going to scheme him a touchdown. Josh Allen ran in a touchdown. Lamar is going to run in a touchdown. Whatever Josh could do, Lamar could do with his legs as well. Gus Edwards is a powerful running back, and I do think there's going to be times where they're trying to salt this game away, where you can run it up the Chiefs. The Chiefs are like the 25th best run defense. What shocked me in the Bills game was that they were second half. They shut that down. But first half, we had 150 yards rushing or something.
Yeah, it was outrageous.
Yeah.
Like I said, Jahmyr Gibbs losing game script. He's going to be the guy. I think he's got the speed to get to the outside on a run, and then that guy gets one in space, and he's gone. It's a house call. And Kittle is Purdy's. That's his binky. and Kittle's done a lot. Kittle. I think they're going to be blitzing a lot. There's going to be a lot of that stuff where Kittle's lining up. They think he's going to block. He releases, and he's gone. So, and he looks very healthy.
Yeah.
Yes.
He does.
And it's a long shot because I can't come up with anything else fun to do.
I
got nothing else fun. I'll get
also-
more fun. Listen, I'm going to have a shitload of props for the Super Bowl. So,
I love that.
Propapalooza has to come back for the Super Bowl.
oh, the Super Bowl Propapalooza. I am a big prop better for the Super Bowl. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. And that'll be another 2 weeks removed from this. So, I'll be feeling a little better.
And just I feel like
But we got to build up our money right now.
Yes, the world is listening. It's already dropped a few points. It's now just plus 32-11 on the odds. So get the they're sniffing around. They're listening to us right now. So get it in while you can. That is basically you'll end up paying out. You'll put 32-1. Put it in now. I'm putting it in now. Might as well.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah, just bet it. It's a fun one. And God, if you get Lamar and Edwards, it's going to be really fun going into the night game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I forgot to bring this up earlier, Mike. I'm surprised I had to bring this up in our if we're not worried about the Chiefs winning, because obviously the NFL wants Taylor Swift to be involved in these playoff games. Her tour starts in Japan right around the Super Bowl, so she's not going to be
no
around.
kidding.
So they don't care about the Chiefs being in it anymore. They're gonna suck everybody, all the Taylor Swift fans dry, get them all excited, and then they're not going to have a Super Bowl with Taylor Swift possibly being involved, but that she could be in Japan. Not happening. They don't care.
Mm.
This is the classic Kelsey can't get it done and they break up, and I can't wait for it. She's gonna write an album about it.
Well, wonderful. Well, listen, I got to tell you, Mike, we appreciate you coming and being a good sport about this whole thing. We had it's got to feel a little good to get it out. Talk therapy is a real thing. It makes you feel good.
Yeah. Listen, I'm ride or die with you guys. It is. We're gonna have highs. We're gonna have lows.
Mhm.
Hopefully, we all get a Super Bowl in the time that we're together. So,
I'd like that.
It wasn't our year. Only one team goes home happy.
That's
Yeah.
it. And you
Never
have,
mind.
everybody does know you pretty well now. So, but now I am your receptacle for all people that want to reach out. Because right as soon as that game ended,
Whoa, pause.
I got like 5 texts from people being like, "Is Mike okay?"
I'm glad it's finally gotten around the word of like, hey, don't text me after these games.
Yeah.
So it's nice. Sasha, this is the first time I'm talking to you.
I know.
And I talk to you every multiple times a day. You're a good man. You're a good friend.
I wanted to save this, so I want you to also know I am handling some of your outgoing messages. Some people are sending some stuff in. We're not letting it get to you.
Somebody texted me, said, you dead, man? And I was like, what? And he goes, say it like Cool Runnings. He goes, I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure you're okay. I'm like, I'm fine. Thank you.
Doing wellness checks. So we should get a lot of listeners here for people that wanted to make sure you're around. So he is alive.
I wanted to show you guys something cool. Hold on. I want to show you guys something cool before we go.
The background is even funnier without him.
It's a pistol. No, check this out. Can you guys see that? Okay.
No, it's the
We
background.
can't see anything.
How do I remove this background? Hold on one second. Oh, God.
There he is. We can see that, yeah. Sort of
Secret
pool
Santa
table.
gift.
Oh,
Isn't that pretty sweet?
that is.
Like Josh
I
Allen's
got
in all
that. I
white like
opened that right
Jesus.
before the game.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh no. That's
Yeah,
rough.
pretty nice.
That's rough timing.
We're cool. We do Secret Santa in January.
It's good. You're keeping it different. It's original.
Mm-hmm.
Getting it together. So shout out to my friends. It's a great gift. And I'll take the edges off of it next season
Good.
because
Mike's not allowed to be around anything sharp for the next 6 weeks.
right. Yeah. My wife's done 3 wellness checks during the pod just to make sure I'm alive.
The background was gonna go away. You're just in an asylum.
It's like, well, gotta go. The ambulance is here.
Well, we love you. We're here for you. Sarah had to eat
Mhm.
crow last week, and here we are. Now we're all in the same boat. Now we can just root for good
Yep.
football and root to win some money.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Got to close out the year strong. I think
Love
we'll hit these bets. We'll be good.
I think so too. Feeling good. So as
Yeah.
always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and now on Twitter. Play your yards
Mhm.
right. We also have Mike play your bets right on Twitter. We're gonna start sharing some more stuff on social media as well. So keep an eye out for that. Follow us on Spotify, Apple, and also don't forget to watch us on the YouTube. See all the Mike's always got some treats for us, so you can get all that visual stuff as well. So we appreciate you guys. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, follow us. We want to know you're listening. We appreciate you, and we will talk to you next week.